Welcome to Start Class 7th History, Chapter 2, that is New Kings and Kingdom. In this chapter, we will see that how new kingdom were formed, how new kingdoms and new kings were formed. So, during 7th century, there were many landlords and warrior chiefs. There were very strong landlords and warrior chiefs. And king of that time acknowledge that warrior chiefs and landlord as their subordinate, as they accept them that they are working under them. They work under the king, not independently but dependently under the king. And during the time of need, they help to the king in military. During the time of war, they provide to the king military support. And when they become powerful, when Samant became powerful, they name themselves Mahasamanatas or Mahamandaleswar. And in the last, they declare themselves as king of the area. Wherever they were responsible person to do the work under the king, they become independent and they declare themselves as a king. The example is Rashtrakuta. Firstly, Rashtrakuta were working under the Chalukya. They were subordinate of Chalukya. They were working under the Chalukya. So, one of their famous king, his name is Dantidurg. So, Dantidurg overthrew his subordinate of their Chalukyan king, and he did one ritual that was Hirngarbh. And after this ritual, he considered himself as a Kshatri, and he started to rule in his area. And second example is Kadamba Mayur Sharman. And Hari Chandran. They both were Brahman, but they both left their activities which was related to Brahman, and they took arms. And they established their kingdom. They become a king. So Kadamba started to rule in Karnataka, and Hari Chandra started to rule in Rajasthan. After becoming king, many of these kings adopted titles like Maharaja Dhiraj, and Tribhuvan Chakravarti. Maharaja Dhiraj and Tribhuvan Chakravarti is two titles which was used by the new kings. They often share their power with the Samantas, peasants, traders, and Brahmins. And they collected different type of resources from the peasants, cattle herders, and artisans. They collect different type of thing from these people. They also collect taxes from them, and they collect taxes from the traders as well. And by using these resources, king make himself stable. He make himself strong. And they used to make some different type of temples also. Sometimes they used to make temples by using these resources. They make forts and they prepare for the war. They use these all resources for the war with the enemies. And during this time, collecting revenue was given to a powerful person, to a person who is having position in the society, so that he can collect properly. And the job of collecting revenue during this time was hereditary. Hereditary means if father is collecting revenue, if he will die, his son will be responsible to collect the revenue again. And during this time, the king rewarded to the Brahman land. They gave land to the Brahman as a grant. And as a proof, they write record on the copper plate. In this copper plate, a small copper plate, they write something as a proof, and they give this copper plate to the Brahman that they got this portion of the land as a grant from the king. And during this time, this was very common that one king attacked to the other king. Actually, a small area was under the king, and other small area was under the another king. So there were so many kings for a small area. So suppose this is the king, this is the king. So this king attack on this king. This king will attack on the other king, and they will attack on other king. They always used to attack on each other. Why? To control the other king's area, to join their area under their own kingdom, to extend their territory and area, to extend their kingdom. So, very famous example of this is fighting for the Kannauj, war for the Kannauj. Kannauj was very prosperous area, very rich area. So all three dynasties ruled to fight for the winning Kannauj, to control the Kannauj, to bring the Kannauj under their own kingdom. And the famous three dynasties were Gurjar Pratiharas, Rashtrakutas, and Pala. These three dynasties were there. They were always fighting to control the Kannauj. Control is in UP, in Uttar Pradesh. Those days earlier, Kannauj was very prosperous. Land was very fertile. Where there were very good crops. The people were very happy, rich, and prosperous. So they were always interested. The kings were always interested to defeat the king who is controlling the Kannauj and to bring the Kannauj under their own custody, under their own kingdom. And this war was called tripartite struggle because three party was there. So it is called tripartite struggle. And during those days, kings wanted to demonstrate, they wanted to show their dignity, wanted to show that they are very powerful. And for this, what they used to do, they made very beautiful temple, very grand, beautiful temples, and they use gold their side, the temples. Mostly they use golds. They make very nice and big and heavy forts to show their wealth, prosperity, so to show that they are rich. So what happened? Always, whenever any other king attack into the other king, take two example. This is one king, this is other king. This king has made so many very beautiful temples, and he has decorated it with the gold. So when this king will attack on this king, so what this king will do? Where we will attack? He will attack in the forest. He will attack anywhere else? No. He will attack directly through the temple. Why? Because the temple was very rich. In the temple there was so many gold for the decoration. Some of the idols, statue, murti were made by the gold. So invaders were interested by the temples to attack on it. Very famous example of this is Somnath temple in Gujarat. Somnath temple in Sultan Mahmud Ghaznavi was a king from Afghanistan. He ruled from 1997 to 1030. He attacked many times during this period on India. And he always attacked on the temples. Why? The temples was very rich, very prosperous. This was the place for the wealth. He attacked on the temple many times. He was defeated also, but in the last, he got success. And he looted, he grabbed all the wealth which he get in the Somnath temple, and he brought these all the thing. He took away these all the thing to the Afghanistan to establish his kingdom, to make his kingdom strong. Kitabul Hind is a book which is written by Al-Bairuni. Kitabul Hind is a book which is written by Al-Bairuni. So in this Kitabul Hind, history of this time is written by Al-Bairuni. We got this information from his book also. And second example was Chauhan and Chalukyas. Chauhans and Chalukyas. Chahmanas and Chauhan, both are same, different name. So Chauhan and Chalukyas is another example to fight on each other, to control their area, to grab their money, wealth, kingdom. Very famous king of Chauhan is Prithviraj Chauhan. During his time, Muhammad Ghori attacked on him in 1191. In 1191, but Prithviraj Chauhan defeated the Muhammad Ghori. And the next year, again Muhammad Ghori attacked on Prithviraj Chauhan, where Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated, and area came under the Muhammad Ghori, who was the master of Qutbuddin Aibak, the first king of Delhi Sultanate.